Electrical connections and inspection should now run smoothly under the new electricity regulations. The Electrical Work Registration and Licensing Regulations 2020 was approved in the lower house of representatives on October 27 of this year. The upper house of the Senate added its assent on Friday. Leader of Government Business, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, guided this vital piece of legislation through the sitting. The Electrical Work Registration and Licensing Regulations 2020 is expected to facilitate an increase in the number of licensed electrical inspectors from the 9 currently serving the island, and this should speed up the inspection process. Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith explains.
There has been an increase in demand in the number of persons seeking to be connected to the grid. I understand, Mr. President, that they receive close to 35,000 applications for inspection annually, but there are very few inspectors. So these regulations will provide a framework which will allow for an increase in the number of licensed inspectors available, which will be a massive improvement in our developmental capacity. Mr. President, what occurs now is that the delays between submission of work for inspection and actual inspection are almost always unduly lengthy and frustrating for residential customers.
Senator Johnson-Smith says the new regulation is linked to Section 51, subsection 1 of the Electricity Act 2015, which provides for the privatization of electrical inspection functions that were previously conducted solely by the government.
So with the passing of the Electricity Act 2015, the 1890 Act was repealed. So under the Electricity Act, the one which we have now, the GER is designated the regulator for the work that is done by licensed electrical inspectors and registered electricians in relation to electrical installations, wiring, or works. So the GER will have responsibility for, or has responsibility for, vetting license applications from persons desirous of being licensed as inspectors and making recommendations to the Minister of Energy, the registration of electricians, the monitoring of work done by inspectors, recommending revocations or suspensions of licenses of inspectors and registered electricians, investigating and seeking to resolve complaints regarding work or conduct of licensed inspectors, and conducting random audits of installations certified by licensed inspectors. So Jamaicans will be pleased to note that the regulations will be implemented, or the process will be implemented, through a digital platform that will ensure quick applications, quick notifications and alerts where there are issues or actions to be taken, seamless uploads and updating of their records, and the provision of feedback on applications.
Senator Johnson-Smith also explains that the new electricity regulations will facilitate professional development since registered electricians will be continuously monitored.
So electricians can be confident that they have their work inspected properly and certified, so they can finalize jobs and move on to the next, so they can do more business in good time. And of note is also the possibility for individuals to be registered as both inspectors and electricians, although, of course, as you will hear when we go through, you can't inspect your own work.
Junior practitioners were not left out of the new developments. Under the regulations, technical electrical assistants will now have a formalized framework under which they will operate during periods of apprenticeship.
We would all have encountered them as the apprentice who comes to a site with the senior electrician and they're learning on the job. They will now have a formalized framework as well, and this will be an opportunity to, in fact, build out more structured apprenticeship programs, allowing for them to be formally engaged, formally trained, and to lift themselves up and move up the line in terms of doing better and doing more as registered and regulated professionals. The fees laid out in the regulations, Mr. President, are well within reach of persons who are already engaged in the industry and those who may wish to join.